in advancing the trade facilitation, strengthening our logistics center, deepening our economic partnership with Ethiopia and the wider region. For us, trade facilitation is not simply about moving goods faster across a border. It's about reducing the cost of doing business, improving predictability, strengthening institutions, empowering our private sector, and creating opportunities for our people. Our vision is clear: to build Somaliland into a competitive, efficient, and well-connected trade and logistics hub, with the Berbera corridor at the center of that ambition. One of the most important achievements in the past couple of years has been the completion of Somaliland's first national trade policy. This is a major milestone of our country. The policy provides a national framework for addressing some of the most important constraints to trade and investment. It covers trade facilitation, export development, MSMEs, customs reform, regional integration, and importantly, mechanisms for implementation and accountability. The completion of the policy is not the end of the journey. It's the beginning of a new phase, moving from policy to implementation, from commitments to measurable results. We have also strengthened the trade and logistics platform, bringing together government institutions, private sector stakeholders to discuss the practical challenges facing trade and logistics. This platform reflects an important principle of our approach. Government cannot reform trade alone. The people who actually move cargo, clear goods, finance transactions, and transport commodities and export our products must be a part of the reform process. Our objective is therefore to move from consultation to collaboration, where the government and business jointly identify problems and jointly develop practical solutions. Another important development has been the establishment and strengthening of the Somaliland Exporters and Logistics Sectoral Association, which is called CELSA. CELSA brings together 5 critical sectors of the trade and logistics ecosystem. They are freight forwarders, shipping lines, transporters, financial sector, and the exporters. The sectoral working groups have been established to ensure that each part of the logistics chain has a voice and a mechanism for addressing its specific challenges. Our ambition is to develop professional and well-organized logistics sector, drawing lessons from successful models such as the Ethiopian Logistics Sectoral Association, which is called ELSA. A strong logistics industry is essential for if Somaliland is fully to benefit from the opportunities created by the Berbera corridor. We have also taken important steps to strengthen business-to-business cooperation between Somaliland and Ethiopia. The Ministry of Trade and Tourism has facilitated close cooperation between CELSA and EFSA and ELSA, creating stronger relationships among the logistics companies and sectoral associations on both sides of the border. This is important because of regional trade is ultimately driven not only by governments, but also by businesses. Our objective is to build a logistics ecosystem in which Somaliland and Ethiopian companies can work together more efficiently, share information, develop partnerships, and connect their markets. In 2026, Somaliland hosted a major Ethiopian private sector trade mission bringing together government officials, business representatives through both government to government and business to business engagements. The delegation also visited Berbera Port, Berbera Economic Zone, allowing Ethiopian businesses to see directly the opportunities associated with the Berbera corridor. We want Ethiopian businesses to see Berbera not only simply as a port, but also as a gateway to international markets and an important component of Ethiopia's regional trade and logistics network. Trade facilitation must benefit everyone, not only large companies. We have also therefore placed particular attention on the small scale and women traders, especially those operating through Togwa Chale district. With the support of Trademark Africa and the local government of Togwa Chale, almost 400 small-scale traders have been trained, and formal trader associations have been established to strengthen their organization, representation, and ability to engage with the government. This is important because of many people who experience the greatest barriers to cross-border trade are small traders. For Somaliland, inclusive trade facilitation means making the border work better for women entrepreneurs, the small traders, and the emerging businesses in the country, not only for the large corporation. We have also facilitated the initiative to establish the Ethiopian Trade and Business Association in Somaliland. This provides another institutional platform for strengthening long-term trade and business relations between our two countries. We believe that sustainable economic relations are built not only through government agreements, but also through strong institutions, business networks, and relationships between our private sectors. Ladies and gentlemen, the achievements of the Ministry of Trade and Tourism give us a strong foundation, but we must now move with a greater urgency from institution building to implementation. First, we will establish and operationalize the National Trade Facilitation Committee, providing high-level coordination, leadership, and accountability for trade facilitation reforms, particularly along the Berbera corridor. Second, we will move the national trade policy into implementation with clear priorities, defined institutional responsibilities, and measurable performance indicators. Third, we will accelerate the development of the Togwa Chale one-stop border post and strengthen coordination among all institutions operating at the border. Fourth, we will strengthen Somaliland-Ethiopia trade and transit agreements, particularly in customs cooperation, transit procedures and documentation, cargo guarantees, insurance, and the exchange of information. Fifth, we will develop a roadmap for the trade information portal and Somaliland single window for trade, making trade procedures, requirements, and documentation easier for businesses to access while progressively connecting government trade systems. Sixth, we will continue strengthening the capacity and professionalism of the logistics sector, including freight forwarding, tracking, shipping, warehousing, standards, certification, and logistics association. Ladies and gentlemen, the Berbera corridor represents more than infrastructure. It represents an opportunity to create a regional economic corridor that connects producers, traders, logistics companies, and the consumers across Somaliland, Ethiopia, and the international markets. But infrastructure alone cannot create a successful corridor. A corridor becomes competitive when movement of goods is predictable, customs procedures are efficient, documentation is simple, information is accessible, logistics services are professional, and the private sector has confidence to invest in and trade in. That's why trade facilitation is at the heart of our economic strategy. Our ambition is to make the Berbera corridor faster, more reliable, more transparent, and more competitive. Excellencies and distinguished guests, the progress we have made in almost the past couple of years demonstrates what can be achieved when the government, the private sector, and development partners work closely together around a common objective. We must now build on these foundations, strengthen our institutions, modernize our border systems, professionalize our logistics sector, expand our exports, and deepen our regional economic partnerships. Let us therefore move forward from policy to implementation, and from dialogue to action, and from potential to results. Thank you very much.